We are back here at the Braga Group Stadium for another episode of the O Show. Let's get started. So we have got it all for you today. We are going to be chatting with Ken Teague and catching up with him. We're also going to be having a look at Justin Edinburgh's 1 year anniversary and having a look at the story so far, as well as touching on the action from our games against Wrexham and Aldershot. Let's get started. Before we get our teeth properly stuck into this week's episode, we're going to have a look at the socialos and some of your tweets from the week. Again, it's been a positive week, so some great tweets as always. And we're going to start today with @JackCoates14. He's finally back from a top away day, my first European tour, and we win late on with limbs in the away end. Dean Brill was superb and the team were resilient all game. And @Daniel Slavinsky, he follows that up with, honestly, what a special day today was. Let's hope we have many more to come this season, and both of them have great points. It was fantastic away day on Saturday at Wrexham, and it was made all the sweeter with the 3 points coming back home with us. Let's have a look at the action from Saturday's game. Now, Thursday the 29th of November marked Justin Edinburgh's 1 year anniversary in charge of this great club, and the club's official Twitter put out this. It has been 1 year in charge for Justin Edinburgh, 46 league games, 24 wins, 14 draws, 8 defeats, 86 points, 73 goals scored. What a year, some great stats there. Now, we caught up with Justin Edinburgh at the training ground earlier, and we had a look at his first year in charge, so over to the training ground.
Well, I think walking into the club, it was well, certainly after the first game was a real eye opener. But I think first and foremost, you know, I'm delighted and honoured to be manager of Leyton Orient. I think it's a fantastic football club. I think that translates from the owners and the board. That's filtered down to the supporters who quite clearly feel that they've got their club back now, a club that are so close to losing, and I think that's transpired into the players and the staff, and myself really. And I think it's fitting that, you know, they're coming up to a year of me being in charge, that, you know, it's been a real year of progress on and off the pitch, and I think there's a lot of people that should take a lot of credit for that, but none more so than the players themselves, because they've been fantastic from the day I've walked in, really. Well, if you'd have asked me after the Solihull game if I thought we were going to beat the league leaders at that time 4-1, I might have looked at you in a strange way. I think, yeah, there's no doubt that I was disappointed with the performance against Solihull. I didn't get the reaction that I perhaps was looking for, but, you know, I think you have to look at, probably only had a day of preparation, but, you know, the following week, I think we worked hard on the training ground. We set the standards. It was quite clear of what I was going to be asking from the players. I asked for a commitment, and I've had that from that day forward. But yeah, the first game at home, great reception for myself, which was, you know, mirrored by a fantastic performance from the players and the crowd, in fact. And I think it was a huge sigh of relief at the end of the game, and a lot of weight lift off a lot of people's shoulders with the first win in a long time. And I think from then on, that generated right through the club, and when we picked it up from there, really. I think that, you know, in terms of for the occasion and the atmosphere, would have been Joby's free kick against Bromley. I think for the day itself, the large crowd, the remembrance, the laying of the wreaths before the game, I think the whole emotion, you could just sense that atmosphere in the crowd, and the sublime finish followed by Josh's one. And I think the other one, which was a big one, was Dates' one at Chesterfield. You know, we'd had to defend for our lives, and, you know, the volley nestled in the top corner. I think that just kept things going, and give the players that real belief that they could go to places and perhaps not dominate with the ball, but be calmed and assured, you know, defending and feel assured, and then, you know, Daisy to fire that one in. But there's been some top goals along the way, and there's been some excellent performances, not only individually but collectively. To have, you know, only lost 10 games in a year, I think is a remarkable achievement, not only for any club, but perhaps a team that is starting from probably not winning 15, 16 games. I think that's what people have got to understand, and understand how fragile these players were, and how low on confidence. To have spun that on its head and gone on the run they have is truly remarkable. And what that's given us is an incredible foundation and a spirit here that, you know, is looking like it's going to take us, you know, to achieve what we set out to do at the start of the season. They're a part of everything that we do here. You know, I think there's a lot of people that need a lot of mentions and praise. I think from the board, the owners and the chairman, I think to the backroom staff, to the office staff, you know, some of the home games that we've had to have, you know, brought the atmosphere and the crowds that we have, and the initiative that we've shown in putting things out there to the public have been incredible. Martin Ling, you know, to the allies, for me to take the day-to-day things that, you know, frustrate a manager away from me and allow me to solely concentrate on being here at the training ground. You know, to Ross and Danny, they've been excellent, they're enthusiastic, good knowledge, you know, a great backbone for me. You know, the backroom staff, the medical team, sports science analysis, you know, everyone that's here deserves a special mention. But, you know, I always try and make this a family environment and a family feel that if we're going to achieve anything here, it's going to be by us all being together, and I think we've got that in abundance. remarkable, really. I think, you know, I walked in here and I've managed, I've been to watch games here, and I think you don't really take it in, but I think, you know, for me, I think it takes something to recognise what is special to you, and I think from what I've witnessed from the outside, watching in, and to then hear the stories firsthand of what went on here, I think the fans were close to not having a football club, and I think when something happens, I think they've embraced it. I think, you know, they've embraced the new owners. I think they've embraced the performances on the pitch, and that goes hand in hand. And their support has been quite remarkable. And you know, I know the players and myself, you know, don't say it tongue in cheek. They've actually drawn the ball into the net on certain occasions in certain games. And I always say, you know, when I walk through here, we'd only do it together. And we're certainly giving it a good fist at the moment.
What a man Justin is, and what a year it's been. Let's hope for another 365 days of the same. Anyway, we've got Ken inside waiting for us, so let's go and have a catch up with him. Right, here we are in the 1881 Legends Lounge, and I'm joined by, actually I don't even need to introduce him. How you doing, Ken?
Very well, doing very well.
It's been a while since we last caught up. How you been?
It has been great. Yeah, got a daughter that has been married since then, and we've had Thanksgiving, I had a birthday, I've been to the Greater Game, and we've played a few more games, so it's been good. Everything's been good, yeah.
What was better, the Greater Game or the wedding?
Both. Yeah, both.
That's a cop out.
You know, the thing about it is they're both very different experiences. It is nothing in life is better than watching your children be ecstatic. And my daughter was ecstatic
when she saw the Greater Game
to get married. And then the Greater Game really made me very proud of Leyton Orient Football Club, which I expected it to do. But what it also did is it made me very proud of the UK. I don't think that the experiences that the young men from Leyton Orient had were vastly different from the rest of the young men that went as a part of the UK. So for me, it ended up making me also very proud of the UK and the young men of the UK 100 years ago.
It really was a phenomenal
It was moving. It was very moving. Yeah, no doubt.
Right, so it has been it's been a year to the day exactly, the day we're filming, Thursday 29th of November, that you and Martin and the guys appointed Justin.
Yes.
How's the first year been for you?
Well, it's worked out great.
It has.
You know, Justin's record speaks for itself, and there's so many things that I admire Justin about. One of them is that, well, so many reasons I admire Justin. One of the reasons is his deep knowledge of football. I mean, he's played football, he's managed football, he's coached.
He's scouted as well.
Yeah, I think he scouted. And so that leads to a deep understanding of the game. It also leads to an intuition. So he has an intuition about players, he has an intuition about substitutions, he has an intuition about how opponents are going to play. And he just has a lot of intuition. And the best part about it is that he trusts his intuition. And so that makes it great. The other thing about Justin that I just adore is that he has such a strong work ethic, and he instills in our players and the people around him this willingness and desire to really work hard and get the most out of themselves that they possibly can get. And I think when you look at the squad that we have today compared to the squad that we had last year, it's more similar than it's dissimilar. And yet you see the results of sort of the philosophy of Justin Edinburgh coming through. And his message is very similar today, seemingly, to what it was a year ago. And that message is work hard, pay attention, do well, and it's obviously getting the results that we want as a club. Absolutely.
It's paying off.
Absolutely.
Have you got any personal highlights over the past year from any of Justin's games?
Well, I've got personal highlights with Justin Like we had a great time in Portugal.
Of course.
Yeah, and you know, riding back on the coach with Justin and watching the team coach and listening to him and watching him interact with the players and you know, that kind of stuff. When there's a match going on, I'm sorry, but I don't tend to notice Justin as much as I do the play. But obviously, I can hear him barking, or I notice that he's there. But you know, under his, you know, there have been a couple of substitutions or you know, game changers, as he calls them, that have happened where I thought, wow, that's really brave.
Yeah. And
he has a tendency to be very brave, and I also love that about him.
But one of my highlights, it's pretty fresh in the memory, was Wrexham on the weekend. I think one of the best away performances and wins under Justin, and like you said, the changes he made really affected that game.
Yeah.
Bringing on Alabi and Brophy.
Yeah.
Did you manage to get a stream of that game? What did you think?
I did. It is a very different experience, one that I do not enjoy as much. Being at home. Oh no. Yeah, being at home. No, in Dallas. No, not even close.
Are you tearing your hair out? And
well, I'm jumping around and doing all that, but. The experience.
We need to get a Kent cam.
No, we don't need that. The thing that we need is for Kent to have more days in the UK. That's what we need.
Yeah.
I think that it is phenomenal to watch us win, but it is fantastic to be at Chesterfield.
That was
right. It is fantastic to be at Gateshead.
Yeah.
It is fantastic to be here. You know, and so it is unbelievable. The personal, being involved and being here personally is so much better than trying to watch it in the United States. It's not even fair.
And that is it for another episode of the O Show. Thank you very much for joining me. Also, a massive thank you to Ken Teague and Justin Edinburgh. And now, don't forget, we take on Gateshead on Saturday at the Bro Group Stadium. I'll see you there.